For those who enjoy the great outdoors, the gear can really help with the overall experience.
In today's Paradise Found, I'll show you how one local duck hunter is turning his passion into a passion project by making unique and personalized duck calls all in his own backyard.
And like, what do you get somebody that has everything? Well, they don't have this.
Lance Chapman began making duck calls in his backyard about 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy just to think that, whenever I first got started, I was just going to make some for families and friends and just kind of piddle around in here.
By day, he works in industry. By night and on weekends, he's making duck calls. What started off as just a hobby is now a full-fledged business, Reclamation Game Calls, churning out hundreds of duck calls each year.
I've kept a log since day one, whenever I started, and the one that's going to Canada will be 1,047. And that's been in 4 years.
All thanks to the power of social media. Without a storefront or website, Chapman posts a simple photo of his creation and garners likes and orders from people all over the country. And it all starts with a small block of wood.
I like to show people stuff like this.
He drills a hole down the center, making sure it's perfect, down to the thousandths. He rounds out the wood block, sands it, and sands it. He fits the ring and continues sanding. Then comes the polishing, applying layers and layers to give it shine and durability. Once the assembly is complete, it's time to add the reed.
So I'm gonna show you what it sounds like with a long reed.
Okay. Unsatisfied with the sound, so he tunes it up.
We're gonna trim.
And trims.
See, that's still a little bit too long for me.
Trim some more.
Close.
And keeps fine-tuning until just right.
That's it.
Sounds awesome. Then he packages it up and ships it off. For Chapman, his hobby turned side business has come full circle. Duck hunting has been a part of his family for generations.
It's crazy, just one little it's a piece of plastic or a piece of wood. It doesn't really, it's not that big of a deal. But whenever you kind of put everything together with everybody that's involved all the way around, it turns into being really special for a lot of people.
Looks like Chapman may have found his calling, and that's Paradise Found. Chapman says he's made some pretty interesting game calls with different themes such as LSU, McNeese, Houston, Astros, Crown Royal, even a Green Bay Packers theme using wood from a bench from Lambeau Field. You can find Reclamation Game Calls on Facebook and on Instagram, and it was such a cool experience to watch him do this. Yeah,
It's interesting how he would trim it to tune it, so to speak.
The whole process was so entertaining and interesting at the same time. I mean, this started as a square green piece of wood, and the wood, of course, was dyed with resin.
So you say, where did he get that green? I've heard of green wood,
and he shines it up.
Yeah,
he
that's
does
pretty
like
cool.
More than 20 layers of resin just to kind of shine it, make it look all pretty.
That's nice.
He does a good job.
We'll have to have Hal McMillan try that out.
I'm gonna have to take some lessons on how to use a game call.
He knows how to do it. All right, very good. So how do we get in touch with you? He's online?
He's online on Facebook and Instagram.